The top players in Arena and Arena Assault get high rewards, but as a free-to-play player you don't stand a chance, right? Well, you'd be surprised, there's more to your arena score than just spending thousands of dollars on the game. But to know how to make the most out of what we have, we first need to know how our arena score is actually calculated. Here's a simplified version of the formula used by the game to calculate how much arena points a unit is worth. You will need to add the unit total of the 4 units you use together and then divide it by 4, which would give you your lowest defense team matchup. That means that depending on what opponents the game pits you against, you might be able to get an even higher score, but you will at least get your average team score. As we can see, there are 4 key factors that we can influence. However, I'm not going to discuss blessings here, since at least at the moment they aren't viable in the long term, since they are only active during a certain month, and if you were to replace a blessing on one of your units, it vanishes. The 3 remaining factors are the merges, our BST or base stat total, and our SP loadout. The merges and the BST mostly come down to the correct choice of unit. Let's look at the base stat total first. The base stat total is simply the sum of all of our characters' stats, however without factoring in stats gained by their weapons, skills, blessings, summoner support or merges. As such, the base stat total of, for example, every Lucina would be the same. Armored units like Draug have a higher BST than normal infantry units like Lucina. So even though Lucina is a 5-star exclusive hero, with a legendary weapon even, and Draug you get literally for free, he is actually more suited for a high arena score. What is however very important to know is that the effective BST used for your arena score gets rounded down to the next 5, meaning that a unit like Draug with 168 BST and a unit like Halloween Henry with a 165 BST are treated exactly the same. Another thing that might interest you is that cavalry mages like Reinhardt have a very low BST, so the higher you go in arena, the less of those pesky tiny hands you will see. Now with the BSTs in mind, you might think that the best team for arena would be simply the 4 units with the highest base stat total. And while that is not entirely untrue, you have to keep in mind that the other important part about our units is the amount of merges. In fact, the difference in BST actually pales in comparison to the merges, as the effective 10 BST difference between a Draug and a Lucina would only account for 4 arena points, which is the equivalent of a single merge. And you only can merge a unit of which you have multiple copies. As such, the most important factor for which unit we should choose should actually be how easy it is to get multiple copies of them. A Grand Hero Battle reward? We will struggle to get more than 5 of those without some divine intervention, so those aren't suited. 5-star exclusive seasonal units that are available for 2 weeks and share their color with another unit on the banner? Not a good idea. Those 3 and 4-star units that keep filling up your barracks and that you keep sending home? Perfect! As you already established, a Draug gets you more score than a Lucina anyways, and unlike Lucina, you will get tons of Draugs whenever you summon on any banner. Christmas Lissa and Christmas Robin may be the units with the highest possible BST, but if you just have a single merge more on your Draug, he is worth exactly the same. And he's about 100 times easier to get. With this knowledge, we can now look for units that are both in the 3 and 4-star pool and have a high BST. This leaves us with 2 definitive winners, which are Gwendolyn and Draug, who are both available at 3 and 4 stars and have an effective BST of 165. As well as Donald, who is also available at 3 and 4 stars and brings a 160 BST to the table. Sheena, Effie, Naui, Faye and Soleil are also great choices because of their high BST, however they are only available at 4 or 5 stars, which makes them a lot tougher to get to plus 10. Outside of those units, you can choose pretty much any melee infantry or flyer from the 3 and 4 star pool, as they will all score an effective 155 BST, and will be easy to come by. Now that we've decided what units we should use, we should take a look at how to build them. This is where most players, including the whales, lose out on a lot of points without even knowing it. Don't believe me? Here, let me show you. We will need to add the SP cost of all the skills we have equipped on our character together. We'll take my lazy first attempt of a Gwendolyn as an example and compare it to a fully optimized Gwendolyn. Lazy Gwendolyn has a Killer Lance Plus as a weapon, because I couldn't even be bothered to upgrade it. Killer Lance Plus, same thing as with any plus weapon, is worth 300 SP. As assist skill, she has Swap to improve her mobility, so that's 150 SP. Important to note here is that Gwendolyn needs 225 SP to learn Swap because she inherited it from Tsubaki. However, it's still just worth 150 SP effectively, same as it was on Tsubaki that had it by default. As a special, I ran Bonfire to allow her to deal damage, that's 200 SP. In the A slot she had Fury, because if you don't know what to use on a unit, you always just slap Fury on it, that's also 200 SP. In the B slot I gave her Quick Riposte 2, because I was too cheap to upgrade Tsubaki to 5 stars and it basically works the same, so that's another 120 SP. The C slot was Hone Armor, because she comes with that by default, and that's another 200 SP. And for the seal I didn't even bother, because initially I thought it didn't matter. So that's 1170 SP total. However, same deal as with the BST, it gets rounded down to the next 100. So it actually only counts as 1100 flat. So that means we get 22 arena score for that build on this specific unit. Now let's take a look at an optimized build. For a weapon, we refine the Killer Lance Plus to a Slaying Lance, then refine it again for a Killer Lance Plus with extra attack. Refined weapons are worth 350 SP, and that is also as good as we can get, since only unique weapons that you can't inherit, such as Falchion, score for 400 SP, which is the highest. Next up is the assist skill. Now, Swap is certainly the better option in terms of function, but the only assist skills that score more than 150 SP are the dual rallies, which score twice as much, so 300 SP. The easiest way to get those is from a 4-star Roderick, a 4-star Tailitiu, whatever. I swear there are too many vowels in this name. Or a 4-star Oliver. For the special, we swap from the 200 SP Bonfire to the massive 500 SP Ether. There are no 500 SP specials available at 4 stars, so you would have to promote a 4-star Crom for Ether or a 4-star Cordelia for Gale Force for this. However, the massive increase in SP is certainly worth it. Equipping Ether instead of Bonfire does more for our score than actually a merge would do. In the A slot there is a definitive best skill, which is Distant Counter at 300 SP, Close Counter also has 300. However, I of course know that that's not an easy skill to come by, as only Hector has it. If we go for a 240 SP skill, which is the next highest, we seemingly have many to choose from, however except for a single one of them, all would require a 5-star exclusive unit. The one exception is Sturdy Blow 2, which is also available on Athena, however you would still have to promote it to 5 stars for this. Because of that, you should make sure that the 40 extra SP actually do something for you, because remember, our SP total will be rounded down to the next 100. As a B slot, we could either next time promote our Tsubaki before inheriting Quick Riposte, or we could save ourselves a lot of feathers, since there are actually several budget options available for us. Namely, Renewal free from a 4-star Faye, Wings of Mercy free from a 4-star Kane, Escape Route free from a 4-star Cecilia, and Poison Strike free from a 4-star Saizo if you want to make others question your sanity. As you might notice, there are 300 SP B-slot skills, but those are exclusive to their respective characters, so 240 is the best all other units can do. For our C slot, the best we can do is 240 SP, and our budget choices would either be Drive Resistance from a 4-star Soleil, or Drive Speed from a 4-star whatever, the same one that also inherits rally speed and resistance, meaning that if you give your units burst speed from a different unit beforehand like Saizo, you can get both skills with just one Tailitiu, whatever. As for the seal, all seals are worth as much as the skill they are based on, and those that don't have a skill that they are based on, like Deflect Magic, are worth 200 if fully upgraded. The only exception here is Quicken Pulse, as it is only worth 100. We can choose pretty much whatever 240 SP seal we want, since you can swap those around freely, but Panic Ploy should be a good choice. If we add all of it up, we arrive at 2170 SP if we pick this encounter, or 2110 if we use any other 240 SP A slots. And as we can see in this example, it wouldn't even matter, since only 2100 count anyways. And yeah, those 2100 would lead us to 42 arena score just from our SP loadout, which is 20 more than the lazy Gwendolyn. That means we gained as much as 5 merges simply by optimizing our builds, or in other words, as much as 100,000 feathers. Alright, so finally let's take a look at how high we can actually reach with our team. If we insert our optimal SP build as well as Gwendolyn's BST and assume that we eventually reach our 10 merges, we arrive at an arena score of 744 for Gwendolyn. In other words, if your entire team was like Gwendolyn, we would always at least get 744 points per flawless victory. Most likely, however, more, as this is only our lowest possible matchup, while our highest could be as high as 760. So if we multiply that by 7 matches, we arrive at 5208. As a comparison, the absolute highest possible arena score is 5250. And to get into the top 1000 in Arena Soul, we would only need 5170. We can therefore conclude that if we use our resources wisely, we can actually make it to the very top of Arena without spending any money even. Heck, you don't even need to specifically spend any orbs to do so, as units like Gwendolyn, Drog or Donald will end up in your barracks anyway while you summon on whatever unit you like. You can look at it like an investment, as getting to higher arena tiers or getting a higher score in Arena Assault will give you more resources in the long run as well. Thanks for watching this arena guide. If you have any questions or just want to give your feedback on the video, feel free to leave a comment down below. Also, if this guide helped you or inspired you, you can leave a like to show your appreciation and or subscribe for more guides in the future.